Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a gold tier gameplay right now. So this is the message that Serene sent me. Serene, thank you for the $30 donation for this gameplay video. I really do appreciate it. It's funny because I actually needed a gold tier video because it's the one that I was missing. I got the low tier one, the elite tier one, the mid tier one, and then I'm going to review like the top 100 players. So Serene said hello Inception, it's Serene from the stream. Would you please analyze my match? This match is after the update. He plays on PC, guys. So this gameplay you guys are going to be seeing right here is PC gameplay. So you will see the difference of the shooting mechanics and the difference of defensive pressure against opposition. So would you please analyze my match? This is a match after the update. I play on PC using a keyboard. Yeah, I know, it's insane in brackets. I'm in Division 3. Gold 1, Gold 2 player. I have troubles in attack mostly. Okay, so right off the bat, your team is looking good, right? You have a good back four in Skriniar, Cancelo, Van Dijk, Robertson, right? I don't like Robertson personally, but a lot of people do, and I can see if you do as well. A good back four. Your midfield is solid as well, because if you want to switch to a 4-2-3-1, you can use Fred and Nanglin as your CDMs. Would they be necessarily ideal? Nanglin would be more ideal than Fred, but Fred is more like a creative defensive mid, right, in that area. He does have some defensive presence and a little bit of physical presence, a little bit of it, not a lot. But it is definitely there, right? Roberto Firmino can play as your cam. Sane can play on the right side, because left-footed on the right for those finesse shots. Maybe, actually, I'm not really sure, because since finishing is different now, it actually might be ideal. We'll see, actually. I think like the weak foot's gonna be really important again, right? So we'll see if Sane is good on the left or the right, depending on when the game plays out, because this is gameplay from the new patch, right? So that's what you guys are gonna be noticing right now. So yeah, it's a good team. 4-2-3-1 works. Fred, Nanglin, Roberto Firmino can play as your cam. Sane or Willian on the sides. And Lacazette is your lone striker. If you want to use a 4-4-2, you could also do that. You have two strikers, wingers, right? So it's a good team to be able to rotate around, right? So a very solid squad in that regard. Gonna make sure I have the volume up for you guys right here. So the tactics that he's going to be using is somewhat of default tactics. So his width is high on the defense. Balance. I use balance as well. I like it personally. 4 depth to avoid the Y passes or the through ball passes as much as possible. Decent width, decent players in the box, and corners and free kicks pretty default. Okay, so this is his balanced instructions. So he has the 4-2-3-1 setup for the ultra defense. He has a 4-3-1 balance setup, so he's probably going to use the attacking variation of the formation when the game starts. So his width is low. Players in the box is 4-2-2. So he's conservative. He plays a little bit similar to me. He does watch. I know that he watches the streams a lot, so I know he's going to probably play a more conservative way. Every time you guys play FIFA, play more to what is best for you, right? Because everybody has their own game style. Like when I tried copying other people, their tactics don't work for me because my game style is different to theirs, right? So just take that into account. Like I tried pressure on heavy touch and I changed it to balance, and I felt like I've been defending better with balance, right? So the tactics and understanding it is very important to see what works out best for you. It's very, very important to see these types of things, right? So this is your team. We're going to go ahead and search for the match here. And the team that you are coming up against is a good team. So Quaresma King. I like this guy. He has his name as Quaresma King. This is my boy right here, okay? Quaresma is my boy. So no offense, Serene, but I like this guy more now. I'm just kidding. Okay, so this guy's team is good too, right? So he has Futchamps Mane. That's actually really cool. So his back four is fantastic, right? Kyle Walker, Eric Bailly. Espilicueta is missing a few attributes here and there. Physical a little bit. 5'10" height. I think he has the jumping stat, maybe, but he doesn't have the height and the physical, so it doesn't really help, right? Did not know Eric Bailly had an inform card at all. Why did Bailly get an inform? When was this? This must have been recent because I haven't played in like 5 days, so I have no idea. Jordi Alba, Desai, Mkhitaryan, Roberto Firmino. Okay, so you definitely use. This guy is going to be using 4-1-2-1-2. I can almost guarantee that because there's no way unless no chemistry links there. Chemistry for Jordi Alba. Yeah, I'm assuming he's using 4-1-2-1-2 with like Mkhitaryan and Firmino as the center mids. Mane and Aguero as the strikers, Mara's Cam maybe. Because no one's going to set up a team like this without a CDM in the middle, right? Or a defensive player in the middle. Like maybe he switches it in game with a 4-3-3 and puts Desai in the middle and then Mkhitaryan off to the left side. That's a huge possibility. Okay, so you do switch to attacking, which is good. Attacking is the one that he has the 4-2-3-1 variation. I don't think you showed me your instructions, did you? I don't think you showed me your instructions. The instructions is very important to see as well, to see how your players are moving. But I have an idea of what your players are going to move like. So his 4-2-3-1 is a conservative 4-2-3-1. So you're going to have to see if his instructions kind of contradict what the players do as well, right? Because their work rates and all that stuff. Okay, so Desai, Mahrez, Chronogros. So this guy plays like an aggressive narrow formation, I think. Possibly. Your gameplay looks rapid. Whoa! You played at nighttime for this gameplay. This is nighttime gameplay, hands down. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh man, that is fast. This is crack cocaine gameplay right here, boys. I love it. All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got going. So, sorry, I'm just like looking at the gameplay part, not even reviewing it. All right, let's see what you got going on here. Okay, so you are using the 4-2-3-1. Your players haven't switched to it yet. Okay, so you're using this guy to defend. You overcommit there. Never overcommit to a side. Have to switch with L1 in that situation right there because the ball's close to you, right? Like, I don't think L1 switches always to the guy with the arrow, so that's something that I think EA needs to adjust as well because it doesn't always do it. It's very inconsistent, actually. But in this situation right here, if you press LB, you may have gotten that ball right away off the bat, so take that into consideration right there maybe in the future. You're defending properly here. Very good defending there. You get unlucky with the deflection right there. Let's see what else. You know why you guys can't hear the volume right now? Because it's going through my Astro. So let me just go ahead and fix that for you guys really quickly so that you guys can hear the gameplay as well. Because it's a little bit weird when the gameplay is not working, right? So we'll go ahead and put those to the speakers. And now you guys can hear it. There we go. Okay, so progressively moving with your CD. Your gameplay is 100% the best gameplay. No doubt about it in my mind. That's disgusting. Okay, let's see here. Roberto Firmino, Lacazette. Good build-up though, man. I like that build-up a lot, actually. So, as you guys know, the 4-2-3-1 has the left mids and the fullbacks, right? So, because his team is moving almost very similar to the way that my team moves, right? So you can see that his left mid is committing forward. So that's why the instructions is important to know, because I don't know if you have getting behind set for your left mids and right mids, because it is an attacking variation of the formation that you chose. So I don't know if you kept those instructions, but still very nice to have. Obviously, you want to exploit the sides with the Y pass. And then I love this. I love that he goes for the extra pass right here. Beautiful. You get very, very unlucky here, actually, with the Lacazette pass. Lacazette definitely let you down there, in my opinion. Right here, if you do a Y pass like upwards or go for the finesse shot, that actually might work. Because I think you already have the angle to try to go for the finesse, but your Sane is making a fantastic run as well. So this situation right here, maybe go for that finesse because he's not controlling this guy, so you could potentially actually get that shot off. Or you could have waited a little bit more, and then when Sane got into a better position, because you passed it too early here, I think. Once he got into a better position, I think you could have done a little tap Y pass, and then he might have been able to shoot really nicely. Your gameplay looks phenomenal. Oh my god.
Trying to catch the player in possession.
So he's using the mechanic of spamming circle or B to aggressively push towards the ball. So you guys can see that mechanic work right here. So if I slow down the speed right here, look at the bottom right. I'll move my I'll move my face cam a little bit for you guys. So if you look at the bottom right, look at how much he's spamming circle or B. You see what I mean? So, and you can see the mechanic that the player is doing is he's aggressively trying to get the ball back. You see how he's reaching out with his arm like this? That's because that mechanic, you have to be careful with this mechanic because sometimes your player tackles the air, right? But if your player is locked onto the other person, what they'll do is they'll aggressively try to get the ball. So you can see once he starts spamming B or circle, he aggressively tries to get the ball, and he kind of gains this speed, right? Because it's gaining that aggressiveness towards getting the ball. That's what Conte is amazing at doing, and that's why it's so easy for him to catch up to players, because of that specific mechanic, right? So just food for thought if you guys are defending. It's a very, very helpful technique that I figured out like I think it was like last year or 2 years ago that I figured out it was a thing, and then it's like the tactic you don't know about video from like last year or 2 years ago. Okay, so here you want to be using your center back. Yep. Good. That's good. See, you're using the 4-2-3-1, so when you're clearing it, you're putting it to the sides. It's beautiful. That's a good skill move to use there to exploit the sides. Pass it back. Yep. Middle. Back down. Whoops. It's weird when it like takes everything out. Oh my god, I did not mean to do that. Now I don't even know what minute I'm at right here. Like here, right? Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys.
Both will be hoping to get into one-on-one situations to attack their opponent.
It's good to do skill moves like that. Like, you think it's a waste of time, but it's not, because it's just figuring out like how the opponent defends against you when you do them. You know what I mean?
An aspect of this match worth watching.
My controller just like randomly vibrated. Okay, so you see how so his it looks like he does have aggressive 4-2-3-1, because you can see all 4 of his players are up right now instead of Willian being supportive over here in this general area. So he is pushed up. So this could be tactics where he has his left mids and right mids possibly to stay forward.
Trying to find a way through here, probing away.
Funny, because I think I can hear you in the background.
Sure that each pass is
his gameplay is 100% good, by the way. There's no emphasis. There's no emphasis pulls whatsoever. His players are moving really quickly. The speed of the game looks very nice. Game looks fantastic right now. See, this is a mechanic you figure out. This is how you figure out if the gameplay is bad or good too, right? The driven pass, instant control, turn, right? So this is a mechanic I talked about 3 years ago to test out if your gameplay is good or bad. So you do a driven pass, instant touch, instant turn, right? So that's how you can tell his gameplay is good. No emphasis, no extra little things. So you see how he's not aggressively pushing forward, right? He's waiting for the attacks to come up. So you see all the players are now set up here. This is when he has to go back and make it back into the middle and exploit this general area right here. This is where he has to exploit it now.
It's a good cross.
But he gets the cross though. GG's. Pass it back. Yeah. So he does the same thing that I do, right? When you're using these types of formations, you need to utilize your fullbacks more, right? Because when you're using your left mids and right mids and you pass it back to the fullback, you can make a run in behind the other person's fullbacks, because the fullbacks tend to overcommit in this game. So he sees that he's being blocked over here. All these players are pushed off to this side, so he's switching the play, which is good to do. So he's aggressively pushing up with this guy, so he should notice that and try to aggressively push this ball to Willian. Always look for people aggressively pushing the guys on the sides, because then that's the side you want to exploit when they do that. Pass to the bottom. Pass to the bottom.
Here's Willian.
Pass it to, you gotta pass to the bottom. You gotta pass to the sides more. I'll show you why, right? When you're in this position right here, look at what you can do, right? Again, look at how the fullbacks overcommit. You see how his fullback is pushing up? If you get this ball to Sané, right, and you do an LBA pass to your fullback, your Sané will exploit all this space right here. This little space right here, that's where he's going to exploit. So if you were to make this pass right here, right, with Sané, you pass it back LBA, or you LBA with somebody else, you can exploit this side, because look at how far his fullback is pushed up. So you got to utilize those sides more. Your gameplay looks so good. It's making me so happy. So with your CDMs, right? So you're obviously using Nanglin as one of your CDMs. with your CDMs, you don't want to do all these little fancy flicks and skills because they're the most important position or the most important players on the pitch. The CDMs are the players you need to upgrade first and foremost in your team every single time. They need to be the players you upgrade every single time. Okay. In this situation right here, I wouldn't do all this, right? Like at this point right here, once you make this touch, you got to pass the ball off because you need to be able to do that with your attacking players, not your CDM. Because if you lose possession of the ball here, which you do, that's an important player to lose possession. Now you only have one CDM against 3 of your defenders.
I think the wide man's got a chance here.
So this situation right here, control this guy right here and push Van Dijk upwards in that direction.
Base out near the touchline.
That's the direction that he's going to exploit now, see? So once you see that you're in this situation right here,
Man's got a chance here.
use Van Dijk, because your player over here is in a good position. Use Van Dijk and push him that direction. And then once you push Van Dijk to that direction, you can push this guy downwards. Because you'll see after a little while, his players start making the runs and they have all this little space to work with because both your center backs are at the bottom now, right? You try to go for those extra passes, didn't work out. Okay, so in this situation right here, let me see how your players are running. So you do have getting behind on your left mids and right mids because look at his player right here. Look at Sané. Yeah, so he definitely has it here. So maybe you can utilize that more, right? So because that's a tactic that you have set up on your team, you have to be more careful with how those players are making those runs, right? So once you get into this position right here and you have the ball with Willian, you can easily do a like a lob pass to your Sané right here, and he actually could be through on goal. Because look at your position right here and look at Sané's position. He could be through on goal after that, right? So food for thought, right? If you do have getting behind for your left mids, he's going to overcommit with his fullback here. So what you do here when he overcommits his fullback that way, don't pass it to the bottom first. Pass it upwards and then wide pass to the bottom. Because what this does is it puts these players in a better position after the pass is made. Crossing from that angle is not ideal to do. Yeah, once you get into this angle, right here, pass this ball upwards first, and then do a wide pass downwards. If I were you, I'd pass this back to Nainggolan. Your crossing options aren't great. You could have tried to go for Willian instead. Put more power into the cross, but it wouldn't have worked out because the other guy would have got it for sure. Okay, so you overcommitted your CDM in this situation right here. So what I would do is, because these guys are all in a good position and he doesn't have any attacking threat whatsoever, push your CDM back into position. So you're staying with the fullback too much. Now you switch to the CDM. We should have switched earlier because he doesn't have much going for him right here. Is that a good pass? That's really quite to pushing up, eh?
He's just got to get it right. It's all about timing.
Utilize the sides, pass it back to the fullback, pass it upwards, pass it to this guy, and then pass it to this guy. Pass it upwards. You know why you pass it upwards? I'll explain why, right? So once your midfielder, your left midfielder right here, so once you made this pass, he starts running, right? So once he starts running, you have to look in the first 2 or 3 passes if you're going to make that pass to Sané. If you don't, then you have to conservatively build up the play back into the middle until Sané gets into position for you to exploit the side again. So here, right, you don't have much options for Sané because the fullback is covering him pretty well, right? When that happens, that's when you have to go back to the middle. Good drag back there. First time pass backwards. First time pass backwards and then pass it back up because you have all this space over here to open up with. So this guy is overly aggressive with his defenders. So that's a good thing for you right now because if he does that, you can exploit this huge little blob of space right here.
Sané played forward, a bit of menace in this attack.
That's a good lob pass. Control the ball.
Well, that was disappointing.
Over here, once you control the ball in this situation, so you get that, spam X or A. When you spam X or A, your players reach pass. So they tiptoe the pass away really quickly before the other person can get the ball back. So that's what you got to do here. There's no sign of you doing that. So that I would suggest you doing that if your control is not great and you know the other person is going to get the ball back. Just spam X or A or the pass button for you to get the ball back here.
Well, that was disappointing. They could have made more of it.
Okay, so you're doing well there. Don't use your fullback here. Use your CDM. Put your fullback back into position. There you go. Don't overcommit with your CDM. You got to leave him over here. That's where his original position's supposed to be. Exploit the middle. You got to do a first time pass. Oh, his gameplay looks fantastic. Oh. Mars is not doing any emphasis on the dribbles. That's good what you're doing there. So you're using the CDMs. Perfect. Fullback, left mid, yep. CDM. At this point right here, once you get here, switch to this guy right here and make sure you block that general area. That's the area he wants to exploit. He does the mistake of drag backing or using the drag back, but in that situation right there, he has a lot of attacking options. If he doesn't drag back this and he passes this ball upwards, touches the ball for first time 1-2 play, would work out really nicely for him.
Tried to tackle here, and he's done that.
So over here, once you pass the ball off to the sides, right here, once you see that people are aggressively pushing you like this on the defense, first time passes all the time. You see how you're touching the ball here? You can't touch the ball there. See right there? First time wide pass downwards. Because you see how Sané is making a run? His fullback is overly committed. If you get this pass down here to your fullback, instant wide pass to Sané. Exploit those sides. Because right now you're vulnerable in the middle. It's good that you commit here with your center back because you have to. Your CDM is in a weird position. That's good. That's good that you got the tackle. You deserve to get that tackle. Use your CDM, yeah. CDM. Watch this little gap right here. You got to be careful when you use your center backs, man. You don't never overcommit the center back unless you really know you're going to get the ball. Because like you see how he touches the ball upwards like that? The ball, listen, if the ball is loose, if that's a loose touch, then you commit. But it's not a loose touch. So you can tell he's going to instantly dribble really quickly. Especially since your gameplay is good. He's going to be able to dribble really quickly after that first touch. There's no emphasis. There's no first bad touch. So be very careful with those. It's good that he used the players to defend the near post corners. Beautiful. This is a little bit of RNG. Like it's either you get it or you don't, which makes sense. Block the middle. Perfect. Perfect. Block the middle still. You can use your fullback a little bit here. That's fine. Don't overcommit with your left mid. You don't need to. You create that space in the middle for the other guy, right? Now he has no CDMs to worry about. And that should be a foul. It is a foul. So right here. So you got the X parts right. You have the A or X part right. The pass button part right. To run at the player. You got that right. But you need to take someone out of the wall. Right? Put him in behind. Just in case he uses any sort of free kick tactic. So that, not in behind, but like just anywhere in a general area right here where you can have two players running at him to block the free kick tactic, right?
Might just be an equalizer on the cards here, Martin.
He's definitely going to take the free kick, so press Y. Yeah.
He can't get it past the wall. Well, he's cleared the danger.
Press Y or triangle, just in case you guys are on Xbox or PlayStation.
Roberto Firmino. Desai taking over.
Good, your CDMs are doing the work there. There you go. First time pass, beautiful. Nope. That's overly aggressive. So in this FIFA, right, the pace isn't utilized like it is in previous FIFAs, which is fine, right? But you have to be careful with how you aggressively attack. It wouldn't work in this situation. Once you make this, that first time pass is good to do. You did an LBA pass, L1A pass. That's ideal to do. But you can see that he's using that player because he knows that you want to make that run. So you have to switch your option here, right? You got to go upwards now because he's still using that card. If he's still using that player, do not pass that ball to him.
Could have done better with that counter attack. Trying to thread a pass through, but not
aggressively push upwards now because he has a lot of players at the bottom. So you want to try to progress upwards at this point. Don't overcommit to the midfielders in those passes. Like I said, person in the middle first, then to the wingers.
Good place to win the
driven pass here, right to Lacazette. You missed it. Gotta do the driven pass right there. Driven pass instantly.
Place to win the ball here. Now Mkhitaryan.
Okay, so your Nanglin's in a good position. Switch to Fred so he's more in the middle over here. That's the pass that he ends up making. Good aggressive defending. I give you credit for that. Overly aggressive to the sides. Remember, middle first, then to the sides. Never aggressively push the middle because the fullbacks will have that upper hand. Because look, man, if you make this pass here, when you're in this situation, he's not using his fullback, right? His fullback's already tracking that run. Once his player starts tracking that run, it's already over for you. It's the initial movement of them pushing up is the movement that you have to do the LBY pass or the law pass.
Can find some space here on the flanks. Roberto Firmino.
You know what I would do over here? So in this situation right here, you could dribble upwards like that, fine. Do a fake shot. Like slide your thumb from B to A. Slide it, right? Your thumb, just slide it for the fake shot. That's the most it's the most natural way of doing the fake shot. From B to A, circle to X, right? Just slide your thumb. If you fake shot it without having any direction, if you're not holding LB, right? Your player will fake shot in the direction of the opponent's net, and your striker's in a good position. And then from your striker, you can see how your midfielders move and then go from there. Because if you do the fake shot right here, look at who he overly commits to because you're dribbling in that area, right? But if you do a fake shot, he's going to think, oh, he's going to pass it upwards. But this guy's going to commit, creating this little open space right here for your striker. And then you could go for a time finesse shot outside the box, right? First time pass here is too aggressive. When you make this pass, you have to see how your team is moving around. Do you like this setup right now? Do you like the setup against this person? Do you think you should have less width in your attack, right? To try to make these players more narrow, right? Have your fullback overcommit to exploit the side a little bit, get into the box a little bit. You have to notice these things when you're playing against your opponent. There's certain games, right, where you'll be tied like 0-0, 1-1, and pass the ball around for 5 minutes. But when you're passing the ball around, analyze what your opponent's defense is doing. Once you know what they're doing, that's when you can exploit them and change your tactics, right? 4-2-3-1 wide is a very conservative way of attacking, and it's because you have a very similar tactic to mine, you have to be more conservative in the way you build up the play. You can't be so aggressive. You know what I mean? You can't be so aggressive.
And we've got another 45 minutes to go. And set your watches, off we go.
Always pass it back. Perfect. So your fullbacks do commit. He actually has the instructions of his fullbacks committing because you can see his player making the run right there. Didn't do anything with the fullback, but he made that run right there. So he does have it.
Roberto Firmino. Just working away.
His gameplay is 110% good, guys. I've seen this over the years, man. Look at this. Boom. Like, oh, I love it. That's it downwards. Beautiful. Don't go for the cross. Go for the cross now. He does like what I love to do. Fake shot. Nice little scoop in. Nice, man. I don't go for the crosses, man. I don't like the RNG aspect of it, but it's effective this year, so definitely use it if you can. Good drag back there. You're defending properly there with your Willian. That was good. You did well there. He has nothing working for him right now. So pass it back to your fullback. Ooh, never do that. That's a fake throw. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. I was like, don't ever do that. Pass it back. Oh, switch is good there too. Maybe another switch would be good as well. Aggressively using your midfielders. Don't do that. Only do that when you make the LBA pass with Sane. Then you can do it. If it's just your player making the run himself, not worth it. He tried with Virgil. He tried. Okay, here with the striker. Your players here are in a good position. Just move your striker a little bit in this general area.
Jordi Alba pressed high here. Couldn't keep it in play. It's gone out for a throw. Looking to use the full width of the pitch.
Perfect. So you defended really well there with your midfielder, then you switched to your CDM. The transition was very good. See? Good pressure.
Now Sadio Mane. That's Filiqueta.
CDM, yeah. Block the down part, yeah. So look at where you're standing with Fred, right? A little bit of an overcommitment to the top. See, creating this little gap of space here. Overcommitting with your center back, don't want to do that. So here, you got to be using this card right here at all times. All times, right? Use this card right here. If he goes for any sort of drag back where he wants to cut inside at any point, your Fred is there. Fred has good agility and balance because of his height, right? So you can move really nicely with him left and right to be able to defend against this. So do not use your center back here, ever. Because if he wanted to, right? He's going for the time finesse. He missed it. Almost scored it. You got to be very careful with those. Never let him cut inside like that.
Willian.
Don't pass it. Beautiful. A little bit too much overcommitment there. I think you pressed our trigger at the wrong time right there. You used the dash button basically at the wrong time. So this situation right here with Willian passes this guy right here, right? Willian tends to make a run in the middle or to the side again, so that's what you have to look at when you're making these plays. That's a Y pass. Keep on this guy for now. Yeah. Perfect. It's downwards. Oh, that was lovely. Really well, really nicely composed. Even that was brilliant too. This was very nice as well. You didn't pass it right away. You waited until he committed and then made that pass. Okay, so right here you should start committing a little bit more to the middle, right? So make the dribble to the middle to make the pass more consistent upwards. Yeah, so right here. So don't worry, in FIFA, these are not wasted opportunities. Not anymore, because the defensive AI really gets to the players really quickly now, right? So over here, if you make this pass, everyone will start just bulleting towards him, right? Let me see what you could have done here. Okay, so he's blocking his striker run, which is good by his defending. He passes the middle. Okay, so what you wanted to do, right, is you want to touch this ball upwards to this corner and then aim for Willian at the bottom. Because your other player at the top will make the run on the inside and then he can go for a header. See? That's the space Willian has to work with. So once you made that pass into the middle, you can pass it back down to the bottom, right? Overcommits with the guy into the middle. Now it's 2v2. This guy is obviously going to go track the other guy. So once you make this pass upwards like that, Roberto Firmino has good passing. LBY to your Willian. You can cross to the side if your player is aggressive moving forward.
That's a wonderful tackle. Roberto Firmino. Now Mahrez.
Blocking the CDM area. That's important. There you go. Nice. You defended perfectly. You don't have the height to be able to get those and stuff. That should be your goalies. Nice. Okay, so now this guy's using some sort of high... Oh, no, he's not using high pressure yet. Good passes, though. Passing it across. Y pass upwards. Or even, that's even better, actually. Ooh, see, aggressive attacking. Don't aggressively attack here, man. Why pass to the bottom? Look at all that space you have to work with right here. Look at this space here. This could have been bad controls because he may have wanted to do that, but you got a lot of space to work with down here. You got to aim that wide pass downwards.
Henrik Mkhitaryan, Roberto Firmino. We might get an update on that injury now from our man Jeff Shreves. Jeff. He seems to have taken the blow to his
aggressive midfielders. So yeah, that's perfect. So you were conservative in the attack here. You know that you didn't have any options. You pass it back to your fullback. Now watch what happens when he passes it back to his fullback. Look at Willian.
Being replaced yet. Jeff, I knew you.
You see how he utilizes that space now? You do a little dribble with Cancelo. That's why you gotta be conservative. You gotta be patient when you build up the play. Look, makes his pass backwards. He has the instruction or the work rates of his players make them push forward, right? Look at what happens right here. He makes that dribble. Now look at that space you have to work with right here. Make that wide pass here, man. You got to exploit those sides with the 4-2-3-1.
Know what was going on down there?
You wasted the time already. See, now nothing's happening for you. Once you get into that position and you make that pass to your fullback, always look at who they're committing with, right? He commits with his fullback. Once you commit with your fullback, it's over, right? That's Jordi Alba. You committed with him, still committing with him. Use that left side or right side.
Coming on strong and looking to play their way through now.
Switch to Nangla in this situation.
Taking over. Sergio Aguero. Can he deal with it here?
Good defending there, man. It was a little bit risky though. It was a little bit risky. Use Nangla, yeah. So there in that situation, you know he's gonna go for the finesse shot. Once he gets that touch, you know he's gonna go for it, right? So at that point, start moving your goalkeeper upwards because that's what he's gonna go for.
That's a good block.
Brilliant wide pass. Pass the ball upwards. No.
Now Willian.
You're gonna wait. Don't aggressively make this pass, man. Don't do it. There you go. Beautiful. Don't cross it right away. Don't cross it right away because your angle is not very good from there. See right there? You see how you kind of like, you're not at a 90-degree angle. You're facing more away from the goal, so the crosses are going to be a little bit more weird there. That's okay. Let him make that pass. No problem. Use the fullback now. Don't overly commit. Always block the middle. Let go of the R trigger at some point. Like right here. Once you're this position right about here, let go of our trigger. His gameplay is good because of this too, chat. Look at the defending. Look at how smooth it is. No emphasis. No emphasis like pushing downwards, then pushing in the opposite direction. He just goes. Look, instantly. Boom. Beautiful transition. Pass it upwards. Pass it downwards first time. Pass to the middle here. Unlucky. Don't use your fullback. Don't use your fullback. Use Fred at that point. Yeah. Got to use Fred right away. Let him have that side, eh? Let him have that side. He has nothing to work with there. He wants to go for that middle. He wants to find that finesse shot angle. Let him have that little bottom side. Spam the pass button. There you go. You got to reach for it. See, that's the mechanic I'm talking about earlier. So you see how Fred reaches for the ball? If you spam the pass button, that's what they do more often. Wide pass downwards. Perfect. Run. Run. You got to keep it running there, man. Defensive AI is very effective, so this doesn't work like previous years. You got to run, and do some sort of skill move to get past that defender. Crossing, actually, when your players are making the run in that situation. Never mind. Sane's not that good in the position. Of a position, excuse me. Okay, some free kicks. CDM. Don't use the center back there. So over here in this situation, you see how he's using the free kick tactic. Switch to this guy in the wall, take him out, and then press A or X to have a player make the run just in case he wants to lay it off and then shoot it. But in this situation, people want to make the free kick tactic where they go over the ball, make the run, and then they make the pass as they're making the run. So that's why you have to take someone out of the wall right now.
He's going to go for it, and why wouldn't he? Got to try and
Let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going for. He's going to do the free kick tactic and pass to the bottom.
Good interception. Excellent work with the tackle. Sane.
So in this situation right here, like I said, man, you got to utilize your fullbacks more. You keep passing it to your striker. Your fullback's in a good position. He has to attack more now, right? If you were to make this LBA pass with Sane to your fullback, look at that space Sane has to work with. Look at this space, right? Pass to your fullback there and make the Y pass with your fullback. That's why passing style is very important for the fullbacks. They pass the ball in very, very clutch situations. So pass it downwards. Use your fullbacks again. Utilize those fullbacks. First time pass, yeah. Little drag back maybe, yeah. You looked for the right run, though. You did look for the right run. Use your other CDM, yep. Good aggressive defending with your center back. Very risky, but worth it.
Able to cut that out with some sharp movement. Keeping an eye on the time here. We still could have a
Y pass.
moment in the short time that remains.
Bottom.
On the attack here.
Y pass. Shoot instantly. Nice try, man. That's the that's the elements that you're missing right there. So you're missing the physical, right? So when your player makes this run, if this was Patrick Vieira or Ruud Gullit, they outbody that center back right there because they have more of the momentum off the ball, right? You disconnect from your opponent because you switched focus from your game. Anything that minimizes focus or switches focus from the game. You lost this game? Well, that was anticlimactic, but yeah. In regards to your gameplay, man, utilize your fullbacks more if you're using the 4-2-3-1. You have getting behind for your left mids and right mids. It's very apparent. Like they definitely make those runs, right? If you don't, then it's because of their high. It's because of their work rates being high, attacking that makes them do those runs. But you gotta utilize those more. So you gotta use those sides, and then from the sides, use the middle sides. You gotta transition between them. If you don't have space on the sides because you overcommitted them, utilize the middle again, right? But that's my opinion in regards to what you guys should be doing in your gameplay if you guys want to get better. But that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's 42 minutes long, but just wanted to show all the little intricacies as you guys normally know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.